Hey guys, that was Shinedown Enemies on the album Amaryllis. And I got to pick that because Kason's for some reason thought new video games were better than old, and everyone knows that's just wrong.
That was last week's show.
That was last week's show, and the winner of this argument gets to pick the video that we're going to play. So yeah, it's going to be pretty fun.
And the weekly show we got here.
Yeah, it's called MassDebates, and what it's going to be is we're each going to pick a topic, and we're going to argue for or against whatever topic we choose.
Yeah, we got lots of topics lined up. Definitely interested in hearing from you guys, if anybody's listening, about future topics we should do. Not only future topics, but hey, thanks, prettier than Matt. But future topics, so things that you want to see us argue about, or of course, while we're arguing, if you have any points you want to chime in on, feel free to hit in the chat window there.
Viewer input is going to be the best part of the show, and it's definitely welcome. And viewer discretion is advised because we're going to be drinking. There's going to be foul language, and one more thing about the show is, there's some conversation topics we're going to have that can get quite heated. I would imagine, whether it be the political side of things, and
that's one thing too. We're gonna topics can be anything. Yeah. Like today's show, we're gonna start out talking about
Darth Dane. That's a pretty easy question to answer. So it's just
I don't even have to explain that one.
Yeah.
No, but
see this hair, son?
Okay. Anyway, but so yeah, all topics. Today we're starting with some sports topics.
Yeah, we're gonna argue playoff format, whether it should be a series or a game. I believe playoffs are better when it is a game. That way you get each team's best foot forward, no excuses, and upsets can happen. I like the idea of upsets being able to happen.
And I'm going to take the side that you should have a series. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I don't know. We'd have to look into it. But I'm going to argue that it should be a series. That way the better team actually wins more often. But we'll get into it. But just going forward, you know what I mean? Like, we're going to argue anything. Like, politics,
sports,
philosophy,
video games,
entertainment.
Who's prettier will probably come up.
We might have to hit that one.
Why beer is better than liquor.
Literally anything.
Yeah, anything. Nothing is off limits. And
we figure we sit around and argue a bunch over drinks anyway. Might as well put it on the stream.
Might as well.
So all right, let's get it.
Cheers, mate. Let's have a good time.
So, since you won the last argument, I guess I'll defer to you to start your argument first.
What is the point of? But it's also a one-game series. I like that. But my argument is, if you ever watch a Game 7 in any sport, baseball, basketball, has hockey 5 or 7?
7, I think. Maybe 5 and 7.
Why do the first 6 games ever matter? Because the Game 7 is by far always the best game in the series. They always put their best foot forward, and it is amazing. Did you see the Cubs and the Indians 2 years ago? Or a year and a half ago?
I don't watch.
Jesus, I have never seen a baseball game so good in my life than that Game 7.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get it, but again, it's only a Game 7 because it was a series. If that would have been the World Series and it had just been...
it would have been Game 1, I think.
Right,
but there would have been no stress. We got to save this good pitcher. They're going to put their best team out there to play that game.
I agree, but my argument back, I don't know, I didn't watch the game, so I can't say to that game specifically, but the hype leading into that game, the big moment of that game came from the fact that it was Game 7. Yeah. You definitely start your ace. But here's what I'm saying. If that same exact game had been played, but it was a one-game series from the beginning, just Game 1, there'd have been zero hype. You wouldn't have even watched it.
That is a good point, too.
But the hype comes in on the fact that it is crescendoed to the point where now it's do or die. Now we've proven that these two teams are on equal footing. This isn't a game where somebody's going to get blown out. This isn't a mismatch playoff game. This is a game that they've for 6 games they've shown these two teams are a good matchup. So then when you go to that Game 7, it's a one-game series at that point, but that Game 7 is, you're getting a good game. So it gets more, the build-up, I think, from the rest of them is what creates that.
To pretty the Matt's point, I think you should wait a week. That's why I love football. It's like You know, obviously you can't do best. Obviously, it's impossible to best of 7 in football. You can't do it.
Kind of the same thing he's saying.
So
you
can't. Yeah, because it'd be a playoffs would run a year probably.
Right.
Yeah.
Basketball already is closed. So
yeah, basketball is only 2.5, 3 month off season in basketball.
yeah.
But it's I just don't think there should be. I mean, you look at every series, like take back like the year. Let's go look at the last 3 NBA finals. Each year the Warriors won. You knew by far who the superior team was.
Yeah.
And you didn't. But what I mean, let me rephrase that. The first 2 years, you knew who the superior team was because of injuries. The first year, Kyrie and Love were out, so you knew the Warriors were going to be better. Right.
I agree. I'm with you on that.
And then the other year, Curry was hurt, and he played, but he was still hurt.
We're going to stop this argument right now and transition to: are you trying to make the argument that the year that the Cavs won, you thought they were going to win that series?
No, but the Warriors did not. No,
okay, I'm making sure that that's not where you were about to say.
The Warriors were nowhere near as dominant as they were.
The Warriors were the favorite going into
They went to Game 7 multiple times.
Thanks, one shot. The Warriors were the favorite. One shot. No, but the Warriors were the favorite both years. It sounded like you were about to try to act like
the Warriors were definitely the favorite. But in like last year, you knew who was going to win that series going into it. It was like no question.
The last 3 years, I knew who was going to win that series, but the Cavs got the upset. All I'm saying, did he say all 3 years?
Man, probably. But
all 3 years, the Warriors should have won.
The year they lost, they did the same thing the Cavs did the series prior.
You're talking about the year the Cavs beat them. Did you say the year the Cavs won?
Shut up.
Did you say the year the Cavs beat the Warriors shouldn't have been in the finals?
They were down 3-1, just like the Cavs were.
You're saying I'm saying, but if you
no, they were the best team in the league. But yeah, but Curry got hurt, and in the postseason they were not that great. They were a shell. If it wasn't for Klay Thompson's incredible Game 6, they were eliminated in six games.
Yeah, but you can point to that. But you can point to that. True. The bottom line is they were the best team in the West by far.
But I think one game would have been better.
No. All right. So back to that. In general, I guess it depends on what you're trying to say. What I'm trying to say, if I'm building a playoff system,
another point for Jeff. For pretty man.
Well, if Draymond got his shit together, he would have been playing in Game 5. How about that? You hear? How about that though? How about that? If Draymond got his shit together, he would have been. So if Draymond wasn't Draymond, then Draymond would have been playing in Game 5, and Draymond would have been Draymond. So
you right.
So, but here's back to what I'm saying. If I'm creating the playoff system, and you're asking me 7 games or 1 game, if I want to decide who's the best team, you got to go 7 games.
I'm about to take this to a personal level. Kirkson's he used to be massive on capitalism and people bastardizing stuff for profit. What is a 7-game series? What's the point of it? They're just trying to make as much money off you as possible. That's all they're doing.
I get that side. So look, but that's almost the point for me. So if I'm building the league, I'm definitely going to make a 7-game series. Yeah. All right, but what I'm saying is from like an objective standpoint, if I'm a playoff, to me the playoff is we played the game. Like we played the season. We had a good time. We played the season. We played you played him. But now let's shut up and find out who's the best team. That's what the playoff is about. So you don't even let everybody into the playoff.
See, I don't like that. I like the idea of anything can happen.
That's not a playoff. That's like a weekend. That's a Sunday in football.
Hey, if a team does not show up, they lose.
Yeah, but
I think that's the way it should be.
But to me, like the point of
Tom Brady would have, let's be real, probably 7 rings. He was always the favorite because they weren't the favorite the first one they won. So it'd be.
But you hear what I'm saying? Like if you think maybe that playoffs is just what? I think playoff is to determine who's the best team.
Playoffs are the best teams in the league put in a tournament. That's what I think it should be.
That's a fair point. I guess
March
that's
Madness. College World Series. I think College World Series is 2-game loss, but they're literally like a round robin ish type thing. I think.
See, I'll give you that. Even that's a little bit better.
Yeah.
But but at least with March Madness, you're able to put so many players or so many teams in that.
You have to think about teams there are. So I mean, not really.
I mean, I get it. But let's just say it's like in football, for instance. All right, so let's just put them all in, right? But so you play the regular season so that the best team can play the worst team, basically get a bye, and we work our way down from there. So still, what we're saying is we're whittling out the bottom teams, right? Thanks, fella. Thanks for the follow. All right, but you see what I'm saying?
Got a Steph fan over there.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'm not saying you wouldn't have won with Draymond, or if Draymond was in. I'm not saying you would have still lost.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
hey, beautiful.
Draymond caused it himself. I'm a Cavs fan, so I can't.
No, he's a LeBron fan.
I'm a LeBron fan. Hey, I've got no qualms with it. I'm a LeBron fan. I was a Heat fan. Now I'm a Cavs fan. But my point is, the playoffs to me is about, let's find out who's the best team. Who's the best team? And the best way to do that is to play 7 games. Like you just made the point. Like if Curry's hurt, you out. Like I'm not saying you're out, but that's not cool.
I agree.
What if it's a minor injury? What if it's a 2-day heal up injury?
Tough it out.
You can't tough it out. Sometimes you can't tough it out. All I'm saying is the 7-game series gives you the opportunity to find out who's the actual better team.
That's both of our brothers' names. That's kind of funny. My brother's name's Jake. His is Cameron. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
we start doing that.
Absolutely. So funny. Jake, no, but you hear what I'm saying? Like if you're trying to determine what team is best, you got to go 7 games.
I just don't. I like the idea of upsets can happen. It's.
Why is that better though?
Because shock factor, surprises can happen, and which we all know, LeBron's going to the finals. No matter what happens, he's going.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
He's going.
Not this year.
He's going. It was
I don't know.
8 in a row. He's going.
I don't know. I mean, that's been how it's been, but I don't know if that's going.
The Warriors got a much tougher.
But here's the deal. All right, well, I'll turn it back on you. If it was a 1-game series, I promise you, LeBron makes it. Because he's going to pull something out of his ass and play the entirety of the game with no rest and go.
Some people do the 7-game series too.
Exactly, if he can push it to 7. He can't. The man can't play every game 7 games in a row. So now you're whittling it down to the team. The man can't take over and dominate. We want to see if the team is better, right?
Okay. Fair.
So you put on a 7-game series. Now you're wearing out your top players. Let's see what your infrastructure is made of.
I think 7's too much. A couple of them, 3 best of 3.
Let's go, 3 or 5. I mean,
7's a lot. That's a lot of games.
All right, I can give you that. Didn't they used to in basketball do 5? 5 to start with?
I think the wild card, the first round.
Yeah.
5. I think it still is it not?
I don't think so. I think they're all 7 now.
So
I'm pretty sure they're all 7 now.
There'd be 28 playoff games
if
every game went to 7. That's ridiculous.
I'd be fine with the first 2 rounds being 5 games, and then we go to
baseball. Because the first round is a 1-game series.
That's too much.
That's just baseball.
Unless it's like a play-in game where it's literally
the wild card round.
The 2 shittiest teams that basically neither of y'all should deserve to be in the playoff, but we'll let y'all play 1 game to figure out who gets to come on in. Like the 60, like in the March Madness, I know they do that, where they have like a little offshoot.
Then they beat Virginia, right?
No, that was different.
That was the biggest upset.
I bet you that wasn't a play-in. I wasn't sure, but I bet you that wasn't a play-in. I'd be down. I don't see. All right. I would the lowest I would be willing to go is I would say
you think the final should still be 7? I mean,
what I say the lowest I'd be willing to go is 3-game series leading up and a 5 or 7-game series in the finals. Because when you get down to that point, you're really trying to figure out which team is the better team, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to sit here and and again, it almost as a fan you're cutting yourself short by going with the one game done,
Yeah.
Because like we were just talking about a minute ago with the baseball finals. You're not really a baseball fan. You watch baseball casually sometimes or whatever.
Not often.
But you tuned into that game that was one of the best games you've ever seen.
I watched that work. Best baseball games I've ever seen.
All right, but you get where I'm going though. It took a game that you don't really care about and made it into a bigger deal. The atmosphere surrounding it, like everybody was watching, whole big thing. You can't force that. It has to be organic. And in a 7-game series, you give yourself that opportunity for it to be organic.
I don't even think I know what that means. What does it play in?
Like in the March Madness.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. I just think I like the idea. If you look at the Super Bowl, which this year, a lot of people say the Eagles could win the game. I don't know if they thought they would, but you look at prior years. Eli Manning won't have 2 rings.
Good. Eli.
Thank you, Eli. We love you for that. Thank you.
I don't. Fuck Eli. Eli Manning does not deserve to have 2 Super Bowl rings, Jordan.
He does.
No, he has 2 rings.
18-0 New England Patriots.
He has 2 rings. That doesn't mean he deserves 2 rings. You're going to sit here and look me in the face and say Eli Manning deserves to have 2 Super Bowl rings in his house.
I'm about to insult my own dude here. Does Peyton deserve 2?
Yes.
Peyton, they won in spite of Peyton.
Yes, I agree. Look, and I'm going to go against myself here because I'm not a Peyton fan. I'm pretty anti-Peyton. But Peyton Manning should have had 2 rings before going into that final year. Peyton Manning should have had 2 rings before going into that final year. He was a dominant enough player. He should have and would have won more than 1 ring before that season if it had been better teams win.
Just a quick segue real quick. They just did ESPN's most dominant athletes of all time.
Yeah.
Peyton was number 3, behind only LeBron at number 2, and Tiger was at 1.
Good.
Brady was number 17. FYI.
How is
Keep
that
it going.
even possible?
Ow!
Gino's, my dog's causing problems.
Gino just ripped my leg apart.
So, but yeah, okay. Wait, pause on a second though. How is Tom Brady 17?
Because his team is good, always.
But he's
Even if
always
Tom
on it.
Brady's won games throwing the ball twice. Because they're just big time. Which I mean,
so
Brady,
this is like an impact thing? Like this
impact
is
that one player has on the game, man.
All right. I mean,
I'm not saying I think Brady should be higher than 17 as much as I hate that.
But see, that's not really fair to like Tiger. Tiger's just.
But Tiger is solely responsible for how good he is. I mean, no one else. Tiger solely beat everyone's ass for years and years and years. That's what LeBron's doing.
He had that caddy. Right. All right. Anyway.
Yeah.
But so.
Warriors,
all right. I think I beat the shit out of this horse. Do you feel like we continue to talk about it? You got any more points to make on it?
My final point on this topic is I love the idea of upsets, and they make sports exciting. If you never got upsets in sports, would not be fun at all.
All right, but I can point you back to the last 2 years, right? When the Cavs weren't going to win either year, but they did. And then double down. To make the point on both sides, this past year, the Cavs were not going to win.
No, everybody knew that.
Right, but they still put up a fight. They still put up some good games. They still came out and played. Early in the series, I was actually like, yo, maybe they pulled us out their ass.
And I laughed at them.
I mean, I didn't say that out loud, but you hear what I'm saying.
Yeah, I was just about to mention athletic sport. We'll get that in a minute. But Jeff fights. Yeah, I love fighting. Upsets or make MMA and boxing awesome.
Don't you think that's kind of shitty though?
No.
Anderson Silva's fighting me or you, and I fucking accidentally catch him with an elbow.
Should have been trying harder.
What? He gets caught with an elbow and he's down, and now I'm better than Anderson Silva, and my fat ass is the champion? That don't make any sense, right? Does that make any sense? See, there was a turn. They did a series when it was 2.
Brett Benoit didn't do a series. What are you talking about? But let's go back to what Alex said. So we can't.
You want to transition
can't
into?
Ignore one shot here.
This is kind of a good. Had a best of 7 in
Booker T and Chris Benoit had one, not Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Come on, Jeff.
Yeah, you might not want to talk to him. His name's pretty than that.
He goes by Jeff.
I'm just kidding.
Booker T and Chris Benoit.
He conceded.
Yeah, he conceded. But back to what Alex is saying.
One shot.
What one shot is saying over there is about NASCAR was another topic that we would.
Let's transition to that.
Yeah, okay, let's transition.
So now that I've won, the 7-game series is clearly better. Let's transition to.
I would consider NASCAR a sport. Yes, because other drivers directly impact what you do as a driver. But you know what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying.
But
you're saying
to me, golf not a sport. Golf's all in your head. You can't hit the other person's ball out the way. In NASCAR, you can ram somebody.
So yeah, we got you, Jeff. I'm coming.
Yeah, we got you, bro.
No, but I see what you're saying. But I mean, you got people like Tiger Woods. That's like clearly an athletic dude doing.
Clearly, yeah. I'm not saying there's no athletes
with a ridiculous skill set that you and I could never match.
But who's the other dude that is drunk 24/7?
Huh?
The golfer who's
drunk. Yeah, I don't know. Daly maybe.
Yeah, John Daly.
Yeah.
But no, back to NASCAR. Let's talk about NASCAR for a minute. Do I think it's an athletic sport? No.
I don't know, man.
I mean, I've been in a race car. They suck.
But golf is not an athletic sport.
No.
All right, go ahead. Continue.
The drivers directly impact what you do. Other drivers directly impact what they can slow you down. You can. Is it called drifting? Drafting. Like drafting, where you get behind the guy. You played NASCAR games for a while. I did. That's fine. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, you can draft off other drivers. No, it's definitely a sport. But golf, the person you're playing against only can mentally affect you.
Or they can play better than you.
Yeah, no, that makes them better. A player. But it's not.
So your whole definition of a sport is if your opponent can have a tangible impact on you.
Oh, I know it's hot, but no, I don't think that's athletic. That is a miserable work environment, absolutely. But does that not make it athletic?
Athletic?
Athletic.
I feel like you got to. I feel like you have to be in good shape to do it. Is that not the definition?
You can't. Yeah.
That's the definition of athletic, is it not? You got to be in good shape to do it. Define athletic not in those terms. But just define athletic not using that, not saying other than you have to be in good shape in order to be able to perform well. That's not. They don't. Oh man, damn it! I'm not gonna say that. Oh, you got one. Give me another one though. Can we go name two? See, you're hard pressed. You got where'd you pull sumo wrestling out of? You been watching?
I'm a wrestling fan.
You been watching sumo wrestling? But you see what I'm saying? Even those dudes, I bet you they're in decent shape. You got like linebackers in the NFL, not linebackers.
But you can't look. I'm just gonna name pull a driver out of my ass here. Who's that? Who's that driver that hit that person and killed him? Stewart. Stewart.
Alex could probably let us know.
Something Stewart. Tony Stewart.
Yeah.
Tony Stewart.
Tony Stewart.
He's not in shape.
I don't know.
He looks like Tony Button.
I can't comment on that. No, I doubt it. I doubt it. Tony Button couldn't do it. How about that?
Because he doesn't have the skill of a
Back when they played baseball back in the day, baseball today is different than baseball was before. But back in the day, like Babe Ruth, they were getting drunk.
Am I saying NASCAR is not an amazing skill?
No, but I want to ask you that because I feel like that's worth raising the point. Back in the day, they used to have overweight dudes like what was that big dude that was a pitcher? Baseball. CC Sabathia. Motherfucker looked like Tony Button.
But
times two.
But
why are we talking about Tony on air? Nobody knows who Tony is. But go ahead. Go ahead. No, tell me.
I'm just talking about like what is this is going to come out wrong because I know it's hard as hell to be a pitcher. But what's more athletic, a pitcher or center fielder?
Center fielder.
All you have to be, you got to have a strong arm to be a pitcher. And skill, obviously, to do the pitching, but...
So, again, I feel like your definition of athletic is how in shape do you need to be...
Endurance, endurance. You got to have some endurance.
How in shape do you need to be to do the task? Right?
All right,
Gina's got a...
pretty puppy.
She has a point she'd like to make.
Yeah, she does. But, it's...
Jump higher, lift more. Lift more, that's a good one. That could be fat ass. A lot of them strongman guys are big. But that's still athletic. It still takes it's a physical skill that I can do that you can't.
But I know a lot of people who are strong and non-athletic.
I don't know. I mean, are they though? I mean, I feel like that might be athletic.
Athletic is something you can't teach. It's something you either have or you don't. Anyone can learn to be strong. Anyone can lift weights all day long.
That's not necessarily the case. Not necessarily the case. No, that's not. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. If you got a small frame or you're a short dude or whatever, maybe short might actually help because when you're benching, short arms might help. But you see what I'm saying? You are genetically predisposed. Maybe that's what athletic means, right? Like you're genetically.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. More people are way more. You look at another example of a tremendous athlete who's ridiculous. Brock Lesnar. He's 6'5", 290 pounds,
right?
And can get a vertical leap with LeBron James.
You can train all day. You're never going to best that guy, right? But you hear what I'm saying? You could train all day. You're never going to best that guy.
The most rotated up, it's because it's hard to pitch a ball 90 miles an hour more than 300 times a week. Apparently. How many? I have no idea how many pitches they have in a game nowadays.
Get down.
Probably 80, 90, something like that.
Yeah. I think they keep them up
like
there.
a pitch count.
I don't really be watching baseball like that.
But I don't know. It's hard to say. Like I don't consider. There's this long conversation we've always had about what do you consider a sport. I don't consider golf a sport. It's a game.
I mean, I understand. I do understand that point.
That's true. If you got that's absolutely true. Because in baseball, if you're a good enough pitcher, you don't need the other 8 players. There's been games where they don't even need the other 8 players.
They got a bat. You got a bat.
But you can strike them out.
No. You have to play offensive side of it.
Yeah, okay. But they don't need the other 8 players on the field as on defense.
That's fine, but that's only half the game.
But saying if one person...
Hold on, though.
If one person playing with a quarterback does not do their job, it's an ass whooping.
I agree, but again, that's only one half of the ball. The defense?
Yeah.
No, here's my point. How much does the defense need the quarterback on the team? None. Less than the pitcher. Hold on.
I agree.
Got a point right here. Hold on. Listen. The pitcher impacts the offense of a baseball game the same way the quarterback affects the offense.
Point out. I didn't think about that.
A pitcher affects the offense of the baseball game more than the or similarly than or as the quarterback affects the offense of a football game. Right? Are you listening?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
I'm doing both.
What'd I say?
Baseball's more one-on-one.
Bullshit. That's
what he said. That's what he said. That's what he said.
This guy. Listen. Look at my face.
Why
and
are you
listen.
ripping my leg apart?
Look at my face and listen.
Look at my leg.
I see it. Listen.
Go ahead.
Quarterback on a football team affects the team on offense. Pitcher on a baseball team affects the game on offense. Hold on. Or on defense. On defense, right? Pitcher's on defense, right? Now you flip it. Quarterback has nothing to do with the defense. Nothing.
That's completely false.
Huh?
It completely affects the strategy.
So does the score of the game and shit like that. Is that what you're talking about?
No, just like just a quick example of the way there's teams that I'm most familiar with.
Give me two seconds. Pause 2 seconds. Did you hear my point though? Did I make my point enough that the pitcher at least has to bat?
Yeah, they don't have to in the American League.
All right, but so half of the pitchers have to bat.
American League, one of the leagues.
One of them, right? But half the pitchers have to bat. The quarterback never contributes to the defense at all.
That's true.
So in my perspective, the pitcher's actually doing more for the team than the quarterback is.
Why are you not here? We invited you here. Shut up.
One shot's busy right now.
One shot's busy. Yeah, I know.
Raising a baby.
Yeah.
You hear what I'm saying?
He's busy. Doing life.
Might be making another
wasting our life here.
But you hear what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
The pitcher only affects one half of the play. No, the pitcher affects both halves to some degree, where a quarterback clearly only affects one half. The quarterback can only affect offense. The pitcher mostly affects defense, but he does affect offense some when he comes out and bunts or whatever.
What I was saying about teams I paid more attention to. The mid-2000s, mid-2000 Colts teams, where their defense was built solely because they had Peyton Manning.
Terrible strategy.
Which was trash, yes.
Terrible strategy.
Their whole strategy was,
Peyton's good.
We can unleash these great pass rushers when we're up 21-0. But if Peyton struggles at all, the other team can run for 10 yards of play, and Peyton never goes on the field. So it's kind of
terrible game plan.
That's why he had one ring with the Colts, let's be honest.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, so that's just the way the whole teams were built. It was, there's a lot of teams that do that, though.
But yeah,
but some people do it smart. Take New England. They blew it. Their defense is meant for takeaways.
But see how you can
give Brady more shots. That's
but you're almost making my point, because you could game plan for Peyton. You could say when Peyton's not on the field, we're going to run the ball. We're going to keep him off the field. You can't do that in baseball. They'd be like, we got a great pitcher, so what? We're going. That's it. You have to.
But you still have to change the game because of you don't change your. I'm trying to think how to word this. Teams, you don't hear many baseball teams go like, we have to change our style of play because we're playing against Madison Bumgarner. But it's like, we're playing against Brady, we're playing against Manning, Rodgers. We have to do this, and this, or he will kill us.
Because the quarterbacks are more pigeonholed, whereas maybe the pitcher's not. You can specify. You can exploit that weakness. Whereas the pitcher's broad, he's just a player on a team.
What about the point?
What
Steph just made over there?
Say it. Speak it out. Speak it out if you like.
QB can be mediocre with a great offensive line. Brady. A pitcher can still pitch a no-hitter if the rest of his team can't catch a pop fly.
And lose, though.
And lose because no one's hitting the ball on the other end. That's where he's getting to.
Yes, thank you. Right, that's
Madison Bumgarner has hit multiple home runs as a pitcher.
All right, but so I guess here's what I'm saying. Here's my point. I can come out and pitch.
But his point is who's going to score on the other end. If you don't need the other 8 players, who's going to score?
Somebody can score on an error. It's happened at least once. I know. Once in history. Yeah. No, I'm saying there's been a no-hitter that somebody still scored a run. I'm pretty sure it's happened. Maybe not.
You can't walk anybody with no-hitter.
Error. Get on base for the error.
Maybe, yeah.
All right, but either way, here's what I'm saying. Let's say you pitch a 1-hitter or a 2-hitter. You pitch a great game, right? No ERA, 0 ERA. You still lose because nobody on your team can hit, and somebody bunted around or what the hell ever, and they scored. As opposed to Peyton Manning could come out and throw for 900 yards and still lose.
He could.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He's only affects one side. Did I blow it? I think I was backwards on that. No, all right, that might be a good point. Brady did what?
What did Brady do?
If you're mediocre QB, you can win. Oh.
Almost every quarterback has been through 500 yards against the Jaguars and lost. But Brady threw 500 yards and lost in the Super Bowl. That's
what I mean. I feel like there's times when shitty quarterbacks or good quarterbacks don't play well.
Sorry, Darth Dane, didn't mean to throw Steelers under the bus there. Sorry, I wasn't thinking about it. Sorry, forgot you were watching. Sorry.
But you hear what I'm saying? Like, a good quarterback, you could come out and throw low yardage and still win. You could come out and throw high yardage and still lose. Yeah. But if a pitcher comes out and throws a no-hitter, he's probably going to win.
Probably so, yes.
But it's more right, because I mean, I guess it's about the same, but my little caveat is at least he's also on the other side of the ball. Quarterback has no control of the other side of the ball. Peyton Manning can do everything in his complete power and lose.
Well, there's three aspects of football, you know.
But think about this. Give me a pitcher. Just name one. Pick one. Doesn't matter. Let's say Bumgarner. They come out and they lose a one game. I could point to him and say he cost him the game, maybe, right? Like if he didn't hit that ball that one time. Yeah. Like he could have pitched a no-hitter, they lose, and I still look at him and be like, yo, but you didn't hit on offense. So you still contributed to the loss. Whereas Peyton Manning threw for 9 million yards and 100,000 touchdowns, and if they lose, he couldn't have done anything more. Right?
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah, I mean, there's been times where Peyton's literally had a perfect game and lost.
Exactly.
I mean, what perfect game? Rating of 158.3.
Right. So can a pitcher have a perfect game if he throws a no-hitter, but he also strikes out 3 times? Is that a perfect game for that pitcher?
Yes. Well, a perfect game for a pitcher is considered
I understand. But when I say perfect game, I mean when you look at that player and you say there's nothing more you could have done to help your team.
All right. Yeah. You made a new argument.
What?
No, I think what we're arguing now is that weren't what we were talking about.
But you see, though? You see? Yeah. You could look at him and say, hey, you pitched a no-hitter, but you also struck out 3 times. So did you do everything you could have done to help your team? No. So there's more that the pitcher could do, in my heart, than the quarterback.
There's also more a quarterback could do, probably always. Unless you're
going to cheer? I mean, they can't help defense.
You could.
Let's say he scores every drive.
What if you run the ball?
Touchdown every drive.
Shouldn't you have thrown the ball?
What if he scores a touchdown every drive? A passing touchdown every drive, and the team still loses? What you gonna do?
How's that gonna happen?
They could,
but
they get one more possession. They get one more possession. Score every time.
You want an example of this? Go watch Green Bay versus Indianapolis in 2004. There was no punts. No punts.
Brett was gone though. Nobody cares.
2004, Brett was not gone. This is a Brett Favre fan here.
Oh.
And, Brett Favre got beat. That's what happened.
Oh, what? Oh. Was it really?
Yeah, it was a beautiful, beautiful game.
Like Justin said a minute ago, I don't want to remember that.
Yeah.
Can we just choose not to remember things?
I didn't mean to bring that soft spot for you, Justin.
But for me...
Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it.
You don't care about bringing up soft spots for me.
No. You bring up soft spots for me all the time. So
let's get to one.
Super Bowl 48. There's one right there.
Saints. Was that Saints?
That's even worse.
Seattle?
Seattle was a beatdown.
Saints loss is worse than Seattle? Let's clarify to the
listening
audience.
Fucking beatdown.
They don't even know. You're a Peyton Manning fan.
I'm a Peyton Nut, and the Seahawks thrashed the entire team.
If you don't remember.
The entire team, mind you, got thrashed. And then, yeah.
So you're saying it's not all
but
Peyton,
to Peyton Manning's credit, I will say
I don't need to hear
his entire life he wanted to throw the Super Bowl winning touchdown for the New Orleans Saints. And God damn it, he did it.
It's a little inside.
Yeah. So sad. Just thinking about that. It was terrible. Anyway, that game ruined my life for about 3 years.
It should have been a Green Bay versus. It should have been a Brett versus.
Should have been Brett. And
it should have been Brett.
What happened there?
Saints cheated.
To beat all 3 of the teams.
Bountygate, yeah. Let's not get me started on Bountygate. All right, so I think we beat that topic today.
Yeah.
Spygate's not that bad. I mean, you do everything you can to win. Paying somebody to hurt somebody, that's fucked up. All right, what's next? We got one more topic on deck.
Well, I don't even remember what we're going to choose.
Should have had so much beam in that drink. Well, you got the list right there beside you.
I'm gonna pull the list out. We're gonna let you guys pick.
Oh, about a year ago, maybe.
Never.
6 months ago.
We only have beards because we weren't in a place where we couldn't have beards, so we quit or got fired and grew beards out.
Yeah, so double middle fingers up.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Minimum wage was the other one.
We really gonna argue that? That's a terrible. That's a terrible one.
Argue that.
I think that's a good one, but for another day.
Another day.
Or today.
You ready for Infinity War?
We're gonna argue about that? I don't want to argue about that. I'm ready for Infinity War. We could argue movies or something though.
Which one? How are we gonna argue about movies?
You got to pick two.
How do you like Captain America? How's that even possible?
I'm not sure. Let's argue that. But you got to take Cap. I'm not. I'm not arguing pro Cap.
Oh.
All right. Well, unless you come up with another topic, I think we have to wind her down.
He's a douche.
Cap is a douche. That is not how you spell American.
Yeah, we've been talking with. It took me like 8 tries to spell exercise the other day. So
oh yeah, I can't spell for shit, but I can read that. That's not.
Captain looks cooler in this movie than he's looked in any movie in the history of
Marvel. Which is not saying much. Since Justin can't talk
back.
That's
not how you spell douche either.
Justin's having some trouble. Since Justin can't talk back, I can talk all the shit about Cap I want right now. I've heard that argument before. I can't really argue against it. I just like, it's unique. I don't want to have an orange hat.
They're trying to get us halfway pretty Carolina colors. That's all.
The hell? No. I'll go back. I'm going to throw it away. Yeah, I'll throw this hat away for now.
Throw it away. Go ahead.
No. But, so yeah, we got one more point in the bag, or that's it?
Yeah.
Wind it down?
We're going to wind it down, guys.
All right, fellas.
Are they going to ask them who won the argument?
Yeah, we want to chime in real quick. What argument was the main one, though?
The first one, dude.
What was the first one? Say it.
I don't even remember. Series versus one game.
So, yeah, chime in real quick if you can. Let us know who you think won this argument. 7-game series or one game? What's the best playoff? We're all winners. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Oh, no, I'm not about that yellow Seahawks jockstrap. But, I mean, everything. I mean, I live in South Carolina, so everywhere I look is an orange Clemson sticker, an orange Clemson hat.
So ugly.
No, they look good. I love it. I appreciate it highly. But at the end of the day, I don't know. This hat just kind of struck me. I liked it. It was a little bit unique, right? Got to keep it fresh. No, I don't know. I like the hat. I bought it.
Fresh like his freshly trimmed beard.
This needs some more work, but
we'll flip a coin in a stalemate.
Oh hell no! I win. 7-game series wins. Tell me it doesn't. You made shitty points. I win. 7-game series. Best team wins. Make your point.
We no one donated. I know it's terrible.
I know we got check it out. 7-game series. Best team wins. Tell me I'm wrong. Jorson.
I started it.
You think you won that argument?
I think I lost it.
You lost it. You either won it or you lost it. And
Jake won it. That's me.
Jake ain't on the... All right. I don't want this motherfucker to pick the game. He's going to have to pick... Yeah, see, I get what... We'll flip a motherfucking coin. I won. Kill it.
All right, guys. We appreciate y'all watching.
Probably tomorrow.
We'll see you guys later. Thank you.